It's Okay to Not Be Okay, Rolling Girls by Wowaka. This is a song that I have listened to for over a decade at this point, and it's hard for me to state why I love Rolling Girl as much as I do. And honestly, this video, we're going to see, depending on the rights holders for Rolling Girl, we'll see how much of it has to be muted or potentially not muted. It's a great song if you haven't heard it, and I feel like we're going to go learn some things about it today.
To understand you and to see, this is where I don't know, that concept has always been
literally me trying to record.
Just having someone that gets you, you know, like a teammate, you know, somebody who you can lean on, who's there in your corner.
God, you don't want to see all the crap I have to cut out. I sound like I don't know how to speak English, which I already don't know how to speak English.
Rooting for you. Fuck. It doesn't help that the song's so fucking good.
Yeah, it doesn't. And if you've never heard of that, or maybe you heard it once long ago at an anime convention, now you remember what Rolling Girl is. That is what we are talking about today. I do like that we have a table of contents here. That's actually super cool.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you guys a lot for sticking with me, even through this break that I took. Yeah, I was just feeling overwhelmed with things, so...
Being a YouTube content creator is hard. It's overwhelming at a lot of times. Take it from somebody that doesn't take breaks, doesn't sleep. Sometimes you need those breaks, and it helps a lot, I promise.
I just needed a little bit of time off. But now, most of that shit is behind me, and today's video is going to be, well, pretty special in my opinion because of the artist that we'll be listening to today, Wowaka. I don't know much about him.
Rest in peace, the absolute legend. I watched a couple pieces on him and his impact. Was he responsible for Unknown Mother Goose as well? He was responsible for a couple bangers, and this man helped shape Vocaloid from what it used to be. He was part of that bridge from old Vocaloid where no one really knew what they were doing. They kind of kept with what was safe in terms of sound design and helped bridged it into talking about, you know, the discussionary topics that come about in Rolling Girl itself. You know, themes of depression, themes of isolation, and also ending a song in a very interesting and even controversial way where you have that sudden cut, you know, where songs will fade out. Having a sudden cut like that can generally be seen as a undesirable thing, but in Rolling Girl, that sudden stop really works.
But from what I do know now from reading your guys' comments, he seems very, very well respected in the community. And another thing I will kind of know from Google is that he's no longer with us.
He's not.
It was kind of sad for me to find out just because, well, first of all, he was young, and second of all, a lot of people have told me that he brought a lot to the table. I mean, not just a lot to the table, but
he really did. I'm a professional grade dingus, let's put it that way. And for me to tell you, he had a massive impact on Vocaloid is an understatement. There are many more qualified people that can talk about things he did, their impact, why he did these things, why they worked, why they were so well received. And the fact that we can have so many people tell you about that should speak volumes.
Brought something different to the table of Vocaloid, so yeah. But yeah, before we get into this, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch just to stay updated on what I'm doing, chill, chat, and join the Discord so you can nerd out about all of your weeb interests.
Legend.
Being lonely.
Legend.
Yeah, let's pull up the video.
This is gonna be, oh god, this is gonna be interesting as a where the fuck do I put myself on the screen? I'll move myself here, that way I'm not fully blocking the socials. This is going to be an interesting watch. If you haven't seen Rolling Girl, this is your blind take. This is your, hey, what is this song? just to see how impactful it is. People can argue, Kip, you pre-watched this for 10 years, yeah.
Okay. I don't think I'm ready. I'm already getting chills. It just started.
It hits you all at once. You are immediately overwhelmed with these sounds.
Oh, wow.
The lyrics hit a little hard. We'll see that. Notice that now we have more. We have more instrumentals.
Like
we have more instrumentals in here now.
The emotion is coming through my screen.
Notice the sound is more oppressive right now.
Tragic, holy fuck.
Oh, tragic's absolutely the word for this. Wait till you see the lyrics.
Oh, there's Rolling Girl. Yep, there she goes. God damn. Oh, the art style change. Holy shit.
This song goes hard.
She had a really intense look in her eyes. Fucking Christ.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
The emotion just jumps out at you in this. Oh, she has bandages on her. What the fuck?
Yep.
The facial expressions, dude. Holy. Wow, dude. I have to pause really quick. This is actually beautiful.
It is.
Sad, and it's probably. I mean, come on. Like, look at the atmosphere this thing's putting on. It's sad. Something tragic is going on in this video. But
yes, it is.
I've never,
especially when it gets into what rolling, as far as I'm aware, has been in Japanese slang terms. That it adds meaning, is what I'll say.
I said I've never heard her sound like this. The way that this video so far is just like projecting its like the intensity in which it's projecting the emotions like through this monitor into the person viewing it is insane. You can feel it. Whatever it is she's going through. Oh, what Wowaka was going through. She's being helped by someone, though. The intensity. Who's the man?
Right there. The culmination of all three parts.
Oh, wow. The color came back for this shot. Man. Oh, my God. I almost started clapping.
You have to understand this was very unique for the time frame. That Vocaloid really didn't do this at the time. I'm someone that lived around the same time, was in the fandom at the same time that Megurine Luca. Oh my god, I love Luca so much. Where we had the wars and what Luca's object how like Miku has a leak. We were thinking it was going to be some kind of death sword, but ended up being a tuna, I think, right? This was very unique for the time, and the subject matter within Rolling Girl wasn't really done, from my understanding, at least in a large scale capacity. So Wowaka comes out of left field with this. When you start the song, you start with, the bass piano notes, and then you go into the repetitive I'm trying to figure the name. It's been way too long since I've been in music theory. You go into not necessarily the chorus, right, but what the song is, right? The notes and how they repeat themselves to create what we're hearing. Dun, 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 right? can't sing, but I digress, right? And then you get to the what was the lyrics? I can't remember. We get to the end of the first the first of 3 sections, then we go into the second half. We go into the middle, right? And then we have more instruments layered on top of the intensity picks up, and then we culminate towards the ending where there's even more instrumentals. Everything around you is crashing down. It's oppressive. It's everywhere. You can think in circles, think in spirals as it's going on, and it ends with that sudden stop. It is beautiful in terms of music design.
Jesus. Yo, even though like this is low quality, let's see, like the max resolution it goes up to is 240p.
This was very up the time,
like,
though.
with this, like, you know, obviously not full HD or fucking 4K. That change up right there at the end in the arts, not the art style, but like the colors used, it's
the
still
colors
hit.
popped.
All right, let's take a little break. And so based on this first listen with no lyrics, just absorbing that, it's a masterpiece. I may not know what was being said in that video.
Oh, it's the Mr. Incredible meme. Those that listen to Rolling Girl, those that know what's being said, it very much is that. And we'll be pausing a little bit throughout because there's a lot to unpack with the lyrics.
Yet the way the emotion in her voice and the imagery just like leapt through the screen and punched me in the face.
Notice that she's the only one different when it comes to the animations. When you're on the next watch that's going to happen in this video, notice that she's the only one different in a sea of people that look the same.
It's gonna be like my 3rd time saying it now, but like I've never heard Hatsune Miku's vocals hit notes like that. At least not in that intensity. Jesus Christ. No, onto like okay, so onto the music itself in terms of like what it made me feel. It was sad. Like something was obviously happening. That
depressing, oppressive, bleak at times, powerful, inspirational. There's a lot of words that you can use to describe it.
Wasn't a good thing. Whether that be, you know, something from a mental aspect, from an external aspect. I saw that she had bandages at some point. Not really sure where that came from. Maybe self-harm. I don't know. What I also don't know is who the male character was. It seemed like he was trying to help, maybe. Yeah, just a very tragic sound that it was. I keep using that word. I know it's a very particular word that I'm using, like tragic. But I keep using it for a reason. Like that's honestly like when I heard what I just heard, tragic really is like, it was like probably the first word that popped into my head when trying to think of a word to describe it. Yeah,
it's a good word.
Let's listen to it again with subtitles and see if we cry or not. All right, here we go.
The subs are gonna hit hard. If you're not ready for this, you might want to click away for a minute.
English, 3, 2, 1. Let's get sadder.
It's so true though. It's gonna happen.
I forgot to mention the instruments, but yeah, like the piano.
The piano opening is great. It's beautiful.
The whole thing's sad. So intense.
You have the prelude with the piano into the main chords, into that main theme. In that intro segment alone, Rolling Girl is forever reaching an unreachable dream. All the scratching in her head continues round and round, right? There's the oppressive thoughts, the just sheer noisiness of it all, and being able to continue going forward without ever reaching those far off dreams. It's beautiful.
Dude, like that note right there that she hit.
Notice that the theme is now a little more powerful, little louder.
Second time in a row it's getting me killed.
It's such a good transition into that second part. No problem where the world's lost. She continues to say that it's not a problem. There is no problem. She's going to continue forging ahead. But she's already a failure. She's already designating herself a failure. She is the only one different, as we can see in here, right? I'm trying to actually get to the actual thing because it's the small corner of the screen. Notice that she aesthetically is the only one different in this sea of faces, right? Everyone, the notes are covering people's faces, which is a really great touch. Thus, we get into the chorus. One more time, moikai, moikai.
Fucking hell, dude.
She will continue to keep going as she has not reached her dreams yet. Regardless of anything else that is happening, she will continue to trudge on. We have a quick break, a little bit of a quick break.
I will stomp your back.
Hurting those around her, continuing. She continued on for, this is where she is shown that she has injury. She has continued on for so long. She is a shell of her former self, as the words imply. She has tried so hard for so long and isn't there. This is her effectively giving up. The voice is getting louder and louder as the theme is getting louder and louder. Them mixing around, meshing around.
Yeah, I'm tearing up. What the fuck?
She can only play it off for so long.
I think this is about depression.
She's not done yet. And this leads into the finale. She hasn't reached her dream. She is saying it's so close. The abandonment for not only herself, but those around her, not noticing the cost, or maybe even noticing the cost, that continues to take its toll. As, you know, what was the word she was using? It's fine, it doesn't matter. As that loses its meaning. She's been at this for so long, and she's so convinced that she'll reach this unattainable goal, which leads into those around her.
So that person cares for her.
That sudden stop is beautiful. It's almost like the sudden stop is the sudden stop to all the warring voices, all of the oppressive noises, all of the thoughts that whir around in her head at light speeds. And she might not have reached the goal that she thought she did, but her friend is helping her reach the goal that she really needed. At least that's my, understanding of it. And even then, this is why music like this speaks to me, is that through 10 plus years that I've been listening to this, seeing my own philosophies evolve, seeing my own, some of them wither away, seeing people that I used to know now no longer know, and the people that I currently associate with, and the people that I talk to, there are layers upon layers upon layers to this, and it is tragically beautiful. And I have nothing but praises to sing about this. No pun intended.
Wow. Yeah, I got teary-eyed.
You need a
Again,
minute.
it's another classic case of it hits the first time, but it hits different the second time when you listen to it with lyrics and you understand what exactly is being said with the emotion and the intensity that Hatsune Miku put into her voice. Being able to connect meaning when listening to Vocaloid is so important, and this is just a prime example of that. Yeah, it struck me as a depression narrative. She was saying statements like what was it? I'll stop your breath or something like that. And I think she was talking to herself. Yeah, she said things like already a failure, already a failure.
The already a failure is her. She can't reach these unrealistic goals, the unrealistic dreams. She would brand herself a failure, as I myself have done many times. There are many goals that we have that are unreachable, many goals that we have that are unrealistic expectations, not only ourselves, we place on ourselves, but that others place on us. And so, yeah, a lot of us have had to just continue to roll, so to speak. And then that gets into how rolling can have an alternative definition synonymous with harm, specifically of the self variety. But I can't find anything on Google to really kind of substantiate that, so I don't know if I hallucinated the post or not. And a lot of us will continue, and sometimes it takes those around us to let us know that we're doing okay, and to let us know if a dream is unreachable, and to provide support where we can. We aren't the only person, so we may feel individualistic in a sea of faces. We may feel like, we are the odd one out. We belong somewhere, all of us do.
The classic line, like, no problem, she mutters, like, people that are going through it mentally, like, you're in a dark place. You don't want to burden anybody with your internal struggles, so you just carry on with your days saying,
no problem.
It's fine.
I'm fine.
Her
don't worry about
attitude towards just living in general, and towards herself is really the key takeaway here. And it's what made me tear.
Living is hard. I'm not gonna tell you it isn't. Living is hard. And you're still here where a lot of other people aren't. You're doing the best that you can each and every day, and that's really what matters.
Up, just to understand you, and to see, this is where that's where I always get a little emotional. Fuck, I don't know, that concept has always been beautiful to me. Just having someone that gets you, like a teammate, somebody who you can lean on, who's there in your corner, rooting for you. Fuck, it doesn't help that the song's so fucking good. But yeah, relationship.
There's a reason I've been listening to this for over 10 years. There's very valid reasons to it, is what I will say.
Like that, friendships, whatever. Somebody like that it's beautiful. That's really all I can say. But however, the only thing I don't really know for sure is if it ends in a game of spot the difference. Again, roll, one more roll. What does roll mean? I mean, I'm obviously gonna look through the comments, but if I can't find anything, can one of you guys leave a comment down below?
I was under the impression that it related to harm in the self variety, but as I said, I don't know if I hallucinated that post or not. That was one interpretation at the very least, and rolling is her continuing to try, the game ending in a game of spot the difference. She doesn't just want to be, as far as I interpret it, doesn't want to be part of that sea of faces, part of the crowd, just another person there. And she has ambition, she has goals, as many of us do.
Below and help me out with that. Okay, so here we go. The boy in this video is supposed to represent depression. Oh no, what? Oh my god. Was she not saved? At the minute 122, one more roll. Today too I will roll. Rolling is representing living. I will live a bit more. I'll keep living today. Is it enough yet? He's asking if she wants to pass already. Oh, I was here getting all emotional thinking that it was somebody who saved her.
And that's the power of interpretation. Despite the original intent, despite what may or may not be true, interpretation does hold a powerful factor here. There are people that get happy listening to death metal, right? There are people that get sad listening to Christmas music. It's all perspective, and it is from certain points of view.
I thought she, wasn't alone at the end. That's a very fucking dark thought. She was shown not to be alone, but, whose company was it? Apparently it was depression. Jesus fuck. Anyways, not yet, because the end is not visible. She wants to keep living until it's her time. I will stop your breath. Now. She wants to get rid of him. She wants to get rid of her depression. The boy smiles. He knows she won't be able to do it. He's still there with her. To minute 151. She's still there. She's still living. She keeps getting more bandages. It's meaning that she keeps getting hurt by going on. She gets hurt the more.
And this also extends to hurt being beyond physical. Mental anguish, emotional trauma, spiritual abuse, depending on situations, right? There's much more than just bandages.
Where she keeps rolling, aka living. Rolling girl's shell of her former self. I will not reach the color on the other side. She keeps rolling, but she still can't see the colors equals she can't find happiness.
She's going through the motions, but to what end? You go to work every day, but you feel like you're not making any money. You go to all your appointments, but you still feel sicker than ever. You continue to put out what you can, but it doesn't seem like it's gaining traction. There are many interpretations and many parallels for this. What's important is that you're continuing. Sure, there's inevitabilities in life, taxes being one of them. There's people that aren't here anymore, and they can't continue their story. You are here. You can continue your story.
At 221, she's seen running. She's running away from him. Hey, I said whatever happens is fine. She tries telling herself this, knowing it's not true, causing the boy to catch her at 229. When he catches her, he wanted to convince her it's time. One more roll, she insists. You will roll me somehow. She will try to keep on living. I will stop your breath now. This time, the boy says it. Oh, shit. He pulls her by the throat. She's too powerless to convince him this time. She can be seen crying as he does it. She thought it will be painful and she will regret it, but the boy hugs her. It's then she sees how fast it was and how it caused her to see the colors. Is it enough yet? The boy asks again. It's fine, she said. She said it because she finally saw that it will be easier than to keep rolling or to keep living. You will probably be tired soon, right? You will be tired if you don't stop. I will end your breath now. The girl then closes her eyes, which means she finally agreed. She finally gave up to depression. She's dead now. She stopped rolling. It has the most likes.
It's a very good interpretation that does match with a lot of that source material, and I do put stock in it. I'm not going to say I don't. Even listening to this for over 10 years, it does have a lot of stock to it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you... It means you can acknowledge it, but you can also find your own meaning. Throughout how many stories, how many books, how many films, how many anime, how many manga have we as readers been presented with a character that presents to us the truth, that presents to us a fact of the world as it functions, and this is their answer to it. With Madoru Uchiha, it is the humanity is in suffering and existence is pain for all intents and purposes. His very edgy speech on reality, wake up to reality. I will create a reality without losers, with only winners. And it's a very idealistic and flawed view of reality. We have Charles Z. Britannia from Code Geass, and how he wants to create a closed system with the Ragnarok connection. The dead will join the living. It will be a perfect world, although in reality only perfect for him and Marianne. And while the world may seem perfect, while that may seem to be the de facto view in certain instances, how many times have we seen the protagonist oppose it? How many times have we seen protagonists in all forms of media rise up? How many times have we seen redemption, from bucking the status quo? Vader and Palpatine, for instance. Vader seeing Luke getting electrocuted on the floor of the Death Star 2, and Vader saying he's not going to allow this to happen and throwing Palpatine over the edge. Existence is hard. Life is hard. We do have stories to help keep us going. And this is really why art is so expensive. I believe it was... God, who was it? Was it Roosevelt? It was a sitting president in the U.S. in World War II. And it goes that it was brought across his desk about a budget plan to defund the arts. And he said something along the lines of, then why are we fighting? If we're going to defund the arts, why are we fighting? It's a situation like that. Someone in the comments is definitely going to have to enlighten me on the exact person, the exact sitting president, as well as a little more context behind that. That's just a vague memory of the event and the conversations that I've had regarding it. People need something, whether it's heroes, whether it's art, whether it's meaning, whether it's a direction, whether it's inspiration to reach an unreachable goal. People need something. It's important to us.
But at the end of the day, this is just an interpretation, right? Where
It's
you
a
are in life
interpretation.
right now really influences the way you interpret these songs. So I don't think I'm necessarily wrong with the way I interpreted it. I guess I just like to look at it positive and, really, I guess I just love stories where, based on my experiences, really fucking fighting through it. It's not easy, like at all. I understand that. Trust me. But man, when you do manage to reach the end, you reach the light at the end of the tunnel. The person you like end up being after beating that internal struggle is you just end up way stronger mentally. You have stronger relationships. Again, I go back to that concept of having somebody understand you that's there for you, rooting for you, is that the connections you make when you're in a state like that, if you do manage to make connections in a state like that, those are the people that are truly meant for you, that are going to be long lasting. See, here's another comment. I'm not going to read all of it, but there are parts of it that I really like that I want to share, and I think I agree with these more than I do the one I read just now. So yeah, thoughts regarding comments. I'm only gonna read A, C, and E. Yeah, A, C, and E. So it's possible to give into depression without it necessarily being suicide. Holding/stopping one's breath needn't be physically literal.
It's metaphorically.
Mental breakdown is plenty damaging and has permanent effects of its own. So yeah.
I'll actually read some of the others. In regards to B, you don't need to be bullied to feel like you don't belong. Not understanding others and not being understood is enough to cause real problems. It's totally possible to feel alone even when surrounded by others, and that's absolutely true. I can attest to this firsthand. As somebody that is neurodivergent, as somebody that doesn't understand people a lot of the time, and people have trouble understanding my mannerisms at a lot of the time, it does have an isolationary effect. It's possible without being bullied, without being called names, without being harassed, to feel alone and like you don't belong. That's incredibly valid.
Not everything has to be suicide, And in these music videos. C, I'm seeing comments with the typical narrative of bullied, then that leads to being depressed, then that leads to self-harm, then that leads to inevitably suicide, like like a train track kind of thing. Like there's only one way to go
linear
about it.
progression.
That's a really reductive and stereotypical conception of depression and anxiety.
It is. There's a lot more to it than that, and the thought processes are oppressive.
The truth is far more insidious. The idea of rolling along day after day and just picking up more bumps and bruises as life goes on rings more true. Yes, like see this happens more than, committing suicide. Not many people go through with that. I think suicide takes a lot.
Someone asked how your day is. How many times have you said, oh, it's going well, even though you're not having a good day, because it's socially acceptable to say, oh, I'm having a good day, or, just chilling, just vibing.
To get to that point, this is usually what ends up happening to most people. Most people that just don't have it in them to end their life.
Most of this on D is, caused by depression and anxiety, is usually visible to others. Absolutely. Some people are very good actors.
Like that. So what they do is just, they end up not wanting to help themselves.
Or they don't want to burden others.
Hate themselves. They self-deprecate. And they just keep going on through life. Keep on going. And each day is just more and more suffering for them internally. Mentally, I should say. And then lastly, to end off this little segment, E, despite other interpretations, to me, the end of the song is saying it's okay to stop trying so hard. Sometimes pushing yourself to roll on like nothing's wrong isn't worth hurting yourself more. Some days you just have to stop and give up and let the depression work itself out. It will take time until you feel like you're capable of rolling again.
I like this interpretation a hell of a lot more. Sometimes you just need a day. Sometimes you need even a few days. Sometimes it's, as the video says, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to take a step back. It's okay to understand that life is hard. Things are shitty. And to take time for yourself. And you'll get back up there. You haven't given up. You're just taking a breather. You're stopping yourself just so you can catch your breath.
This is what See, this was that's closer to my interpretation. Yeah, even though this one only has 500 likes compared to the first one I read that has nearly 3,000 likes.
I mean, that could also just be length of the post being up, people seeking out specific things, i.e. confirmation bias. There could be a number of things in regards to that.
I feel like this interpretation, first of all, I personally like it a lot more. But
both are good.
Also
I like this one a little more.
More realistic in how this person.
I like this one a little more, but there's pieces of both that I like that fit my own narrative.
And the way that this person talks about living with depression is just very, very grounded and very realistic. And I love that. I love some days you just gotta stop, slow down, stop rolling every single day. Take a break if you need it. Find someone to talk to. If you don't, and this is like the harder part, if you're truly alone, just sit down and gather yourself together. Think about like what it is you want from life, what's missing, and from there, fight. That's the only way to go about it. Whether that be to obtain something that you're missing, or whether that be to get something out, to get something out of your mind. Acting like nothing's wrong, like what she was saying in the music video. Like, oh, it's fine, like I'm okay. That's when you start losing the battle. To end off this discussion, like, you know, just to tie the bow, you can do it. You as a person are valid, and everything you're feeling is valid. Thank you so much for watching and for recommending me this video. I'll dig deeper into who exactly Wowaka was, because I'm super curious, especially
there's a lot on the subject of
Wowaka.
A
A piece of work like this. I mean, that when you listen to music, obviously it lets you into the mind of the creator. I wonder what he went through.
A lot.
Leaving us.
A lot.
I really do appreciate every single one of you, and goodbye.
This outro actually kind of slaps, though. This is really cool. It was a really good video, and there's a reason I've listened to the song for so many, many years, and will continue to for many, many more. There's a lot to unpack with this. There's a lot to interpret, and a lot of it can be subjective. You have objectivity in there, right? Such as dealing with depression, dealing with pressures, seeking something, but you also have subjectivity in regards to even how it ended in the first place. There's a lot to consider, and you are it does ring true. You are valid. You still are here at the end of the day. You are still choosing to be alive, to continue to seek things, to continue on the path of progression. It's a lot more than other people have, or had, I guess I should say. This thing is hard. I'm not going to discount that. And it's important to understand that sometimes, yes, I'm aware I'm talking about myself a little bit. Sometimes you just need to take a break. Sometimes you need to just turn off that PC, put it to sleep, maybe pick up a Switch and pick up some Animal Crossing, or play some Pokemon, or just sit and read a good book and take time for yourself to heal, to process and grow. And that is a reason why Wowaka I'll always remember. There's something to be said about your first death, your physical death. You can be forgotten, but you're never truly dead until people forget the idea of you. And this is one of those songs that will continue to stick with me. And even if you hadn't watched this song before, maybe you have a song that you can listen to, or maybe a song where you can dig into at an analytical level. There's a lot to consider with this, and I both want to thank the original creator of this. I want to thank shooshiMooshi. Excellent video. I loved it. And to Wowaka, who unfortunately is no longer with us. And I will continue to listen to your amazing work and continue to forge ahead as best as I can. But I think that's enough for that one for now. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Please keep it civil, keep it appropriate, all that fun stuff. And wishing you all the best. I'll see you in the next one.